Between dusk and dawn, a different world opens inside the human mind. A world where logic melts, stories bend, and the imagination roams completely free, as if the boundaries of the physical world no longer apply. Dreams are one of nature's oldest and most profound mysteries. And even though we sleep indoors today, surrounded by technology, our dreams are still shaped by the same ancient forces that once guided our ancestors under the moon and stars. Today on Natural Earth Living, we're exploring why the mind becomes wild at night, and how natural rhythms, temperature, darkness, and our ancient biology all weave together to create the dream world we enter every single time we sleep. So let's start with how the mind quite literally slips into the night. Our brains have a built-in night mode. It's a biological switch. As the light from the sun fades, the pineal gland, a tiny structure deep inside the brain, begins to release melatonin. But this hormone does so much more than just make us feel sleepy. It fundamentally changes the way our brain processes information. Think about your mind during the day. Your thoughts are usually structured and linear. Logic stays firmly in the driver's seat. You're constantly filtering out randomness to focus on tasks and make sense of the world. But at night, as melatonin levels rise, the brain begins to loosen those rules. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thought and decision-making, takes a step back. Suddenly, boundaries blur. Creativity takes over. Memories from years ago can float freely to the surface and mix with feelings from just a few hours before. It's as if the mind takes off its daytime armor, allowing it to explore the deeper, more chaotic, and more creative parts of itself. This is the first step into the dream world, a deliberate shift away from the rigid logic of wakefulness. Now here's something that many people never notice, but might recognize once they hear it. Our dreams often become more vivid, more emotional, and even stranger during the winter. Have you ever felt that? Well, there's a scientific reason for it. Your brain is reacting to powerful natural cues that come with the season. First, longer nights mean more hours of darkness. This leads to a prolonged release of melatonin, which can result in deeper, more extended periods of REM sleep. And REM sleep is where the most memorable and story-like dreams happen. Second, cooler temperatures can actually influence brain activity at night. Some studies suggest that our bodies, when trying to regulate temperature in a cooler environment, can trigger more active brain states during sleep. And finally, the earlier sunsets shift our entire circadian rhythm. This recalibration can intensify our sleep cycles. When your REM sleep becomes more intense, your dreams transform. They go from fuzzy, half-forgotten scenes to something like a Technicolor movie full of rich symbols, heightened emotions, and surreal, unforgettable storylines. It's your ancient biology responding directly to the turning of the earth. We like to think we're separate from nature, that we've conquered it with our heated houses and electric lights. But the truth is, your brain is still reading natural signals, even when you're tucked away indoors. Your biology is still tethered to the cycles of the planet. For example, some research has shown that the phases of the moon can subtly affect our sleep architecture, particularly our REM cycles. People have reported experiencing different dream patterns during a full moon versus a new moon. Barometric pressure, the weight of the air around us, can also influence dream intensity. Have you ever had chaotic dreams right before a big storm rolls in? That's not a coincidence. The changes in atmospheric pressure and static electricity can spark unusual brain activity. And even the sounds from outside your window, the howl of the wind, the distant rumble of thunder, or even the cry of an animal can be woven directly into the fabric of your dreams, shaping the imagery and the narrative. Your ancestors dreamed in caves, forests, deserts, and mountains. Their survival depended on being attuned to the world around them, even in sleep. And your brain, that incredible evolutionary masterpiece, hasn't forgotten how to listen. So, what is the purpose of all this nightly activity? Dreams are a form of essential emotional housekeeping. They aren't just random noise. When we dream, our brain is incredibly busy processing the day's events. It's working through stress, consolidating important memories while discarding trivial ones, and confronting fears in a safe, simulated environment. Dreams are also a hotbed for creativity and problem-solving. Think of it like a nighttime cleanse. a way the mind washes and reorganizes itself after a long, cluttered day. What feels completely random or bizarre in a dream is often the brain's symbolic way of reorganizing deeper truths and connecting seemingly unrelated ideas. This is why people who spend more time in nature often report having calmer, more meaningful dreams. When you reset your nervous system by walking in a forest or sitting by the ocean, your brain has fewer stress signals to process at night. Instead, it can focus on storing positive memories more clearly and engaging in more restorative, insightful dreaming. The external environment directly shapes our internal landscape. Ultimately, the dream world is a portal to the subconscious. Every single night, without any conscious effort, we enter a state where symbols replace words, where intuition speaks loudly and clearly, and where buried emotions finally come to the surface. It's a space where our imagination becomes truly limitless. Dreams remind us that the human mind still has wild, ancient roots. That beneath our daily routines, our jobs, and all our responsibilities, we are still deeply connected to mystery, to instinct, and to the quiet, powerful rhythms of the earth. So the next time you wake up from a particularly vivid or strange dream, don't just dismiss it. Know that it wasn't just a dream. It was your brain speaking in its oldest, most symbolic language. It was nature, still whispering to you, even in the dark. Thank you for being here with me today on Natural Earth Living. If you love learning about how nature shapes our bodies and our minds, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know. What's the strangest or most beautiful dream you've ever had? And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. It really helps us grow and continue exploring these fascinating topics together. Thanks for watching.